guys, this is Devan with the UNF Student Wellness Complex. Welcome to today's Power Yoga class. As always, I'll give plenty of modifications as we go, so feel free to take any that you'd like. All you'll need is a mat, and then if you've got a block, some straps, a stack of books that you'd like to use, feel free to go grab those as well. We will go ahead and get started in child's pose. So knees are going to go wide to the edges of your mat, toes together, sitting back towards your heels, palms pressing into your mat, maybe the forehead rests here. Just take a few deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now is a great time to do that. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and walk both hands over to the right side of the mat. We're just going to stack that left palm on top of the right. So you should feel a nice left side body stretch here. Maybe press back through that left hip a little bit more. On your next inhale, go ahead and come on back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, walking the hands over to the left side of the mat, so maybe that right palm stacks on top of the left here. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk both hands back to center. Exhale here. And then inhale, come on up into tabletop, so shoulders over your elbows, over your wrists, hips over your knees. You're going to take a few cat-cows to loosen up the spine. So as you inhale, pulling that belly button down towards your mat, rolling the shoulders back, looking up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding through the back, tucking the chin, looking towards your knees or belly button. Pressing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, pulling that belly button back down towards your mat. And exhale, rounding the back. Go ahead and take one or two more in each direction. Just going at your own pace, following your own breath. When you're finished, go ahead and just come on back to neutral. We're going to tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So you can pedal out the feet a little bit here. Shift your weight around, loosen up whatever muscles you need to. And then we're going to go ahead and just walk both feet up to meet our hands. Coming into a forward fold here, so you can either let your arms hang, you can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll, maybe swing side to side. Maybe shake your head forward and backward or side to side if that feels good. And then we're going to interlace the fingers together behind us, opening up the shoulders and chest. Inhale, slowly rolling the whole way up. Both arms are going to come overhead. Take a little back bend here, pressing the hips forward. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Just go ahead and come on up to the top of your mat if you're not already there. I'll give you guys 3 options for Chaturangas today. The first option is just to skip them and step yourself back to downward facing dog. And then we'll go through the other 2 right now. Go ahead and inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, rolling the shoulders back. Hands come to your shins. Exhale, fold. Step the feet back. For this other option, we're going to drop down to the knees and tuck the toes. Keep the elbows tucked in as you lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, pressing up to cobra. So thighs pressing into the mat here, shoulders rolled away from the ears. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes, pressing up and back for downward facing dog. So option 1 is to skip them. That's option 2, and then I'll give you one more option for all of our chaturangas today. Go ahead and walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway left, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half left, flat back. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to step the feet back and stay up on the toes. Keeping those elbows tucked in. Go ahead and shift the weight forward. Lower down halfway. Untuck the toes. Inhale to upward facing dog. Rolling those shoulders back. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. So those are your 3 options. If there are any other modifications that you'd like to add in, please feel free to do that. Go ahead and walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, feel free to take any of those options that you'd like. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold, and chaturanga. So go ahead and pull out the feet a little bit more. Loosen up anything else that you need to here. And then we're going to go ahead and bend that left knee and just let that left hip drop down towards the mat. So you should really feel a good stretch through the back of that right leg. And go ahead and switch, so bending through that right knee, letting that right hip drop to the mat, straightening out that left leg. Come on back to center. Go ahead and walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. This time we're going to come into chair. So toes together, toes about 1 inch apart. We're going to sit back, tailbone tucked under. Hands can either be up by your ears or at heart center here. So straight, flat back. Tailbone tucked. All of your weight should be back in your heels, so maybe lift up and wiggle those toes a little bit here. Getting the hips a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Go ahead and inhale that right leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, step it between your hands. We're going to come into a crescent lunge. So left toes on the mat, left heel up. If you need to modify, feel free to drop down to that left knee. Arms are going to come overhead here. So right knee stacked on top of the right ankle. Feel free to add in a back bend if that feels good here. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. So hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to take a little twist over to the right. So that left elbow is going to go to the outside of that right knee. Really using that left elbow to press yourself up and away from your knees. Try not to sink into it. So go ahead and just release the hands. We're going to drop that left hand down to the mat. Inhale, open up with that right arm toward the ceiling here. So keeping that right knee tucked in, trying to stack that right shoulder on top of the left shoulder here. Now go ahead and drop that right hand down to the mat on the outside of that right foot. We're going to step that left foot in, and then take the left knee, tap it behind the right knee. You can stay here with your hands on the mat, or you can bring your hands up to heart center and try to balance here. So drop those hands, step that left foot back into that lunge. We're going to drop down to the left knee if we're not already there. And we're just going to slide that right foot all the way across the mat for pigeon. So go ahead and drop that right shin down, parallel to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, go ahead and walk both hands out in front of you. So making sure that left hip is rolled down towards the floor. You can also come into king pigeon or mermaid here if you'd like. If you want a little bit extra, you can take that left arm and thread it underneath of the right. If this is too much, you can always roll onto your back. Take a figure 4 stretch so that right ankle will come to the left thigh, and you'll just pull that left leg in, give it a squeeze. So any of those options, feel free to take them here. So on your next inhale, go ahead and walk both hands back in or roll yourself over if you're on your back. We're just going to reach that left arm back, grab that left ankle, and pull it towards us. So pressing the hips forward, maybe down towards the mat a little bit. And go ahead and release. Tuck those left toes under. We're going to kick that right leg out behind us. And then bend that right knee, open up that right hip, stuck it on top of the left hip. So taking that right leg straight back up into the air. You're going to inhale, roll it forward into a high plank, and chaturanga from here. So lower halfway down or all the way. Drop that right foot. Tuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk, step or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, we're going to come into chair again here. So toes together, heels about an inch apart. Straight, flat back. This time, instead of shifting the weight into the heels, we're going to shift them forward into the toes, and then lift those heels off the mat. So maybe sink the hips a little bit deeper here. Maybe a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold, drop those heels. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale that left leg toward the ceiling. Exhale as you step it between your hands, crescent lunge on this side. So again, you have the option of dropping down to that right knee. Inhale, arms come overhead. Left knee stacked on top of that left ankle here. Inhale, straighten out that left leg. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Good, so from here, hands are going to come to heart center. We're going to twist to the left. So right elbow to the outside of that left knee. So really using that right elbow to press yourself up and away from the legs here. And then drop just that right hand to the mat. Inhale that left arm toward the ceiling. Try to stack that left shoulder on top of the right, keeping that right knee tucked in. And go ahead and drop that left hand to the mat on the outside of that left foot. We're going to step the right foot in and then tap that right knee behind the left knee. Hands can stay where they are or come up to heart center to balance a little bit here. Hands to the mat, step that right foot back, and we'll drop down to that right knee if you're not already there. And then slide that left foot all the way across the mat, drop that left shin down. We'll take pigeon on this side. So same options here. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk the hands out in front of you. Feel free to come into king pigeon or mermaid here. Maybe thread that right arm under the left, or roll yourself over and take a figure four stretch here. If wherever you're at, just make sure that right hip is rolled down and squared towards your mat here. On your next inhale, go ahead and either roll yourself over or walk your hands back in. We're going to reach that right arm back, grab that right ankle or foot, just pull it towards you, pressing the hips forward. And go ahead and release. We'll tap those right toes under, take that left leg out behind us, and then bend that right knee, left knee, open up that left hip, stack it on top of the right. Taking that left leg straight back up into the air, we're going to inhale, roll it forward into a high plank here, and then chaturanga. Drop that left foot. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale that right leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, roll yourself forward. Keep that right leg lifted. Lower down halfway. And chaturanga. So inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg toward the ceiling. Go ahead and roll yourself forward, keeping that left leg lifted. Exhale, lower halfway. Drop that left leg. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, this time step it between your hands. We're going to come into warrior one. So hips square towards the front of the mat. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. Really pressing through the outer edge of that left foot. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Exhale, this time open to warrior two. So hips just square towards the side of the mat this time. Gaze over that front right middle finger. Rolling the shoulders back here. Inhale, flip that right palm face up. We're going to reach forward as far as we can and then take that right arm overhead. Drop that left arm down the back leg. Maybe take it behind your low back here. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into that right leg. Inhale, back to warrior two. You're going to cartwheel the hands over, step that right foot back to meet the left, and chaturanga. Inhale that left leg toward the ceiling. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior one on this side. So again, left knee over the left ankle, pressing through the outer edge of that right foot here. Hips square towards the front of the mat. Inhale, straighten out that left leg. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten out that left leg. Exhale, open up warrior two. So hips square towards the side of the mat again here. Gaze over that left middle finger this time. Rolling those shoulders back and down the spine. Inhale, flip that left palm face up. We're going to reach it forward as far as we can. And then take that left arm overhead. Right arm can slide down that right leg, or you can take it behind your low back here. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into that left leg. Inhale, back to warrior two. Go ahead and cartwheel the hands over. Step that left foot back to meet the right, and chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk, step, or jump both feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come on all the way up. Exhale, hands are going to come to heart center. So we're going to come back into chair, but we're going to do it with just one leg at a time. So we'll start on the right foot. Left ankle is going to cross over the right thigh. And then we're just going to sit back here. So keeping that tailbone tucked under still, straight flat back. Rolling those shoulders down the spine. Just sink as deep into this as you can. From here, we're going to uncross this left ankle, take it behind us, and we're just going to step it about halfway back the mat and out to the left a little bit. So we're going to take a little forward fold over that right leg. So coming into pyramid here, you can readjust if you need to. You can let your arms maybe plant on your mat, maybe bring them to your shin or ankle. You can also take them together behind you, whatever feels good for you. Inhale, come up halfway, so hands onto your shins, straight flat back. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper this time. So from here, we're going to come up onto the toes. So press up to your toes. And we're just going to pivot the feet and walk the hands over to the right. So you should come into a little cross leg fold. Just find a spot that's a little bit uncomfortable, and we'll just take a few breaths here. So you should feel a nice stretch through the outside and back of this right leg. So go ahead and press back up to the toes. We're going to walk our hands back to the left, to the top of the mat. And then we're going to kind of go in the reverse. So we're going to step that left foot up and cross it back over the right thigh. So coming back into that one leg chair. Tailbone stays tucked under here. Maybe sink the hips a little bit deeper. And then we're going to come up, bring that left knee up into your chest. You can grab a hold of it if you'd like. You can interlace the fingers underneath of that left foot. Just going to do a little balance here. So go ahead and you can keep this knee bent or you can straighten it out in front of you. And then we're just going to take that left leg out to the side. So open up through that left hip. Feel free to extend it out long here if you'd like. Maybe grab the toes or the outside of that left foot. A little bit extra here. And then bring that left knee back to center. And then we'll drop it down, shake it out if you need to, and then we'll switch sides. So left foot plants this time. Right ankle onto the left thigh. We're going to sit back, tailbone tucked. Straight flat back, rolling those shoulders down the spine here. Something that's a little bit deeper. And then we're going to uncross that right ankle, step it halfway back the mat and out to the right. We're going to come into pyramid on this side. So taking straight flat back, fold over that left leg. Feel free to readjust here if you need to. Feel free to take the arms wherever you'd like them, anywhere that they're comfortable. Inhale, we're going to come up halfway, straight flat back. Hands can come onto that left shin. Exhale, folds a little bit deeper. So from here, we're going to come into that cross-leg twist again. So go ahead and press up onto the toes. We're going to walk our hands to the left side of the mat this time, pivoting on the balls of your feet, and then drop your heels whenever you're ready. Feel free to readjust here. Find a spot that's slightly uncomfortable, but a nice stretch through the back of that left leg this time. So pressing back up onto the balls of the feet, walking our hands over to the right towards the top of the mat, dropping heels, and then we're going to again go into that reverse direction. So taking that right ankle and crossing it over the left thigh, coming back into that one leg chair. Sink the hips a little bit deeper here. So standing up, straightening that left leg, right knee comes into your chest. You can grab a hold of it if you'd like, standing up nice and tall, straight flat back. Maybe straighten that right leg out in front of you if you've got the space and would like to. And then we're just going to take that right leg out to the side. Open up that right hip a little bit. And then come on back to the center. Go ahead and drop that right foot down. Shake it out if you need to. And then while we're up, we'll do a little more standing balance. So we're going to do a tree next. Left foot is going to come anywhere on the inside of the right leg that you'd like it. So toes can stay on the mat. You can bring it to your shin, up to your thigh, just anywhere except the inside of your knee, please. So find a comfortable spot here. Keep that right hip tucked in. Hands can either be at heart center or you can bring them overhead. We're just going to take a little side bend to the left. So really reaching over with that right arm, maybe that left hand drops to the left thigh. And come on back up. From here, we're going to take left hand. So we're going to take that left foot off of the left leg. Left hand is going to grab the inside of that left foot. And we're going to come into dancer. So right arm stays up in the air. We're just going to kick back into that left hand as far as you can. And then start to hinge at the hips and lean forward. Maybe try to kick back a little bit more into that left hand. And slowly come on up. We will switch sides. So starting with tree on the other side, right foot anywhere except the knee on the inside of that left leg. And wherever you like the arms at, relaxing the shoulders. Keeping that left hip tucked in. And then we'll take a little side bend over that right knee. Feel free to let that right arm drop. Maybe reach it over a little bit further. And then come on back up. This time, right foot comes behind you. Right hand grabs the inside of that right foot. And we'll come into dancer on this side. So kind of hugging those knees together. Go ahead and kick back into that right hand. And when you can't kick any more, go ahead and hinge at the hips. Leaning forward. Maybe a little bit more. Good. And come on up. Shake it out if you need to. And then hop on up to the top of your mat if you're not there. Go ahead and inhale both arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. So again, feel free to take any variation you'd like here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So for this next one, we're going to do a little bit of abs. Go ahead and drop down to your knees. I'll give 2 options. So you can feel free to take either variation that you'd like. The first option is going to be in downward facing dog. You'll start with lifting the right leg. As you exhale, right knee comes into your chest. Inhale, extend, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, extend. You'll do 10 on that side, 10 on the other side. Second option is on your knees on all fours. So left arm comes out, right leg goes back. Same thing, exhale, tuck, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend out long. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. So 10 on that side, and then you'll switch your right arm, left knee, 10 on that side. So take either variation that you'd like, and 20 total here. So feel free to go at your own pace when you're finished. Just hop into child's pose and we will meet there. So whenever you're finished, you're in child's pose, knees together this time, toes together. We're just going to walk the hands out in front, lifting the hips, so hips will stack over the knees. We're just going to come into puppy here. So maybe your forehead or your chin rests on your mat here. Take a few breaths. Maybe bring those palms together behind your head to stretch out the shoulders a little bit here. Now go ahead and walk the hands in. We're going to come into tabletop. And then inhale that right arm toward the ceiling. Exhale to right underneath of the left. So right shoulder drops to the mat. You can leave that left arm where it is. Maybe walk it overhead or take it behind your back here. Go ahead and use that left hand to press yourself back up into tabletop. Right arm lifts toward the ceiling. And then drop it down. Go switch sides. So on your next inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right. Take that right arm wherever you'd like it. Go ahead and use that right hand to press yourself back up, left arm toward the ceiling. And exhale, drop it down. We're going to come all the way down onto our stomachs and then roll it over onto our backs. Do a little bit of inversions here. So we're going to do bridge if there's something else you'd rather do. If you'd rather do shoulder stand or a headstand, tripod, feel free to take any of those here instead. I'm going to do a bridge. So plant both feet on your mat. We're just going to walk our hands kind of down towards our heels, walk the heels up towards the hands, squeeze the knees together. And then when you're ready, pressing the hips up toward the ceiling, maybe rolling the shoulders under here. If you have a block or some books, and this is too much, you can always stick those underneath of your hips. You can also use your hands to press your hips up a little bit higher too. slowly lower down to your mat. We're going to pull both knees into our chest. Rock side to side a little bit. Massage the low back here. And then we'll take one more. So go ahead and plant the soles of your feet on the mat again. Hands by your side. When you're ready, pressing both hips up toward the ceiling, rolling the shoulders under. If you want to press to wheel, go ahead and come all the way up to wheel here. And this time we're just going to press up to the toes. So walk those feet in a little bit closer, lift the hips a little bit higher. Maybe squeeze the knees a little bit closer together. And then slowly lower back down. This time soles of the feet are going to come together, knees are going to open wide to the side. Just take a big breath here. And then go ahead and roll yourself over onto one side or the other. Press yourself up. We're going to do a little bit of seated stretching. So both legs are going to come straight out in front of us. Both hips planted on the mat. Inhale, bringing both arms overhead, lengthening the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come on up. We're going to take that right leg over top of the left. So right foot plants, left leg can be straight out in front of you, or you can tuck it behind you as long as you can keep both hips on your mat. Inhale that left arm overhead. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Taking a little twist over to the right. So with each inhale, try to lengthen through the spine. With each exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come on back to center. So you can, if your legs are crossed or uncrossed, you can leave them however they are. We're just going to twist the knees a little bit. So trying to stack that right knee on top of the left knee. Okay, when you're there, go ahead and just walk both hands straight out in front of you. So if you have your legs uncrossed, this is what it will look like. Right knee still stacked on top of the left. You'll just reach for that left foot instead. And slowly come on up, we'll uncross the legs and switch sides. So this time, right leg out in front, left leg crossed over, and then if you'd like to cross or tuck that right leg, feel free to do that here. We're going to inhale the right arm overhead this time, exhale, right elbow to the outside of that left knee. And again, same thing here, as you inhale, try to lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, try to twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come on back to center. Go ahead and slide the left knee across to stack it on top of that right knee. And then again, go ahead and just walk the hands out in front, or maybe reach towards that right foot if the legs aren't crossed. Maybe one side feels a little bit better than the other. That's totally fine. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. Slowly walk the hands back in and across the legs. We're going to come all the way down to our backs now. So go and inhale that your right leg straight up toward the ceiling. Left leg can be extended out long, or you can bend it to help support the low back here. So find wherever you're comfortable, and then we'll just take a few circles with that right ankle. Switch sides. Go the other direction. And then go ahead and pull that right leg a little bit closer. And we're going to take the left hand, grab the outside of that right foot, and take that right leg across the body over to the left. You can bend that right knee if you want a little bit less here. And then bend that right knee. If it's not already, roll yourself back to center. Get that right knee squeeze into your chest. And we'll switch sides. So go ahead and drop that right foot or leg down to the mat. Inhale that left leg up toward the ceiling. Take a few circles with that left ankle. Switching directions whenever you're ready. Pulling that left leg a little bit closer. And taking that right hand, grabbing the left foot, taking that left leg across the body, over to the right. Maybe bending that left knee if you want a little bit less. Inhale down that left knee and roll yourself back to center. Give that left knee a squeeze into your chest. And then go ahead and release that left leg down to your mat. Just find a comfortable spot to lay in and relax for a minute or two. Legs can extend out long, arms by your side. Maybe you'd rather bend the knees or let the knees fall out wide. Totally up to you. Just find a comfortable spot. Let the body sink into the mat. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to get on with the rest of your day, go ahead and start to bring some awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe rolling your wrists and ankles. Maybe touching each one of your fingertips to your thumb. And go ahead and extend the arms up overhead, legs out long, taking one big full body stretch here. Pulling both knees into your chest. One last time, maybe rocking side to side, or forward and backward if that feels better. And rolling onto one side or the other. Keeping your eyes closed, go ahead and press yourself up into a seated position on your mat. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Thank you all for letting me guide you through your practice today. You were all wonderful, and until next time, namaste.